Yo folks, and welcome to the channel. In today's video, we talking about Tokyo Game Show, Sony news, Nintendo news, more D23 or Disney news, all the mobile things coming for September Gacha Weekly number 2. Let's jump right into this. First things being is the overview on Tokyo Game Show stuff. Unveil the World, a mobile RPG character designed by the Promised Neverland creator Posuka Demizu. And then we also have Wuthering Waves having an 8-minute gameplay that we can take a look at briefly. My Mermaid, the breeding game announced for mobile. And not to mention, there was some stuff on day 2 with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links of Reigns update. And then there was also the Ashfall, new mobile MMORPG by NetEase. And then Azur Lane collaborating with Atelier Ryza 2. And then day 3, we have Your Majesty mobile RPG this fall. Honkai news, Zenless Zone Zero news, Limbus Company stuff, which was huge. And then not so much that going on day 4 for mobile. Let's get more into this. First up is Gumi revealing Ragnador, the yokai themed RPG getting an EN release. I believe this was released sometime in 2021, October specifically in Japan. It reminds me a lot of Sinnoh Alice if I were to judge it based off of face value. All you need to know, it's going to be coming this winter in 2022. So if you like what you're seeing, then feel free to get excited. Then we have El Abyss Project, a secret agent themed mobile game. Now, what's interesting with this one is it's also known as Edge of Awakening, and it's going to be a husbando game. Whether it's going to be a simulation style where certain decisions will lead to certain outcomes, or it's going to be an RPG, it's unknown, but the husbandos in this look prime in my opinion. Hopefully you get the cyberpunk reference there, and I'm excited for any husbando game, especially something as beautiful as this. And then we have Memento Mori news. It's going to be getting delays to October 18th, 2022. It has been confirmed. This is the official Twitter account. So hopefully everything goes smoothly by October. And then we have NetEase unveiling Ashfall, composed by Hans Zimmer himself. Now, some of you might be wondering who is Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer brought us some of the most amazing soundtracks from the Dark Knight trilogy, Dune, Pirates of the Caribbean, and there's even more composers like Steve Mazzaro and Inon Zur. What does that all mean? High profile music producers or composers making a game. So NetEase is pumping a lot of money into this MMORPG. It's gonna be war-torn and asunder, and I'm looking forward to the shooter if it can actually deliver. Especially you have to with like such a big budget composing team like this. And then we have Disney 23 Expo. The news on this, it's gonna be Avatar Reckoning first up. All you need to know, it's gonna be just thing like Fortnite in the sense it's a battle royale. I don't see anything different from other battle royales outside of we're blue. So hey, looks cool, I guess. And then we have a Marvel World of Heroes. We already talked about this. It's gonna be a Pokemon Go style, except with Marvel stuff in it. So if you like the sound of catching maybe Captain America with some sort of cubey thingy, then hey, it's gonna be for you. We also have a Marvel Snap right here. This is gonna be actually releasing sometime in October. It's gonna be a card collector. I think it has a sort of fit in it with Hearthstone and all the different things. Reminds me of that. And if you like this Marvel franchise, then I feel like it's going to be a cool one to check out. I always love a good card game. Then we have the Division's Resurgence getting a pre-registration and a closed beta. Now, all you need to know about the Division Resurgence is that this was announced a while back in May, I believe. The biggest things were like the loot and the things that you could acquire and how the enemy AI was. So hopefully the enemy AI is good with this one and the loot is amazing. We'll see how it goes as it's getting up to its releases. And then we have Ubisoft announcing Assassin's Creed Jade. Now, the only thing you need to know, it's going to be set in China. It's going to be the Great Wall, and it's going to be built from the ground up specifically for mobile. So it's going to be an exclusive game on mobile. Hopefully, this is going to be amazing. I believe this is some in-game footage. I'm looking forward to seeing how it flows, that is for sure. And there's also some other mobile stuff, Mighty Quest and Valiant Hearts. So more to come. This was, the Ubisoft news for the week. And then there's Naraka Bladepoint. The biggest things was this is one of the trailers that released during the Tokyo Game Show. And if you don't know, Naraka Bladepoint is highly successful. It's definitely doing numbers on Steam. I believe it's going to be getting like a huge update sometime soon. I'm not sure if it's going to be a free title, but all you need to know is a really fun game that's beautiful, and hopefully it releases on mobile with no issues. I don't think it's going to be looking like this, but it's definitely gonna be some fun gameplay, that is for sure. Then we have Echoes of Vision. Here's a look at the websites and a trailer over here on tabs, right? It's gonna be a strategy RPG that I just sort of ran into. Why does this capture me? Just look at the visuals. This is insane, especially for a trailer. I don't think this is gonna be showing us any in-game footage. This definitely looks like something in real life, but just having something of this high quality just for a mobile game, I'm already all about it. Don't tell me this doesn't look good, because this is just some nutty stuff, especially for a mobile game. And then we have Wuthering Waves 8 minutes of gameplay. You gotta see this gameplay that they showed us right here. We're gonna be facing off against this turtle. They countered, they flung that ice ball back straight on the turtle. There's gonna be some character switching going on. This reminds me of like the Elden Ring with like the bell on top. I don't know. Maybe if you haven't played Elden Ring, alright, that's fine. But look at the ultimates, the animation that's going on here, the fluidity. I love this game the more I see the combat. The dodging mechanic isn't especially showcased here. I don't know if you can tell what's going on. There's a lot of like counterattack movements. There's like that keen like white line. I could go on and on about how amazing this combat just feels from visual standpoints. Like I can't touch it, I can't play it. But this is what I dream of when it comes to action RPGs. I feel like this is better than like the slowdown effects that you get. Hopefully this doesn't have to be like a 5-head like action RPG player in order to achieve this level of gameplay to look this amazing, because a lot of times it's really difficult to pull off counterattacks. But if they make it all seamless, I believe in like Kuro Games to make it happen. Overall though, I'm still curious about the story. Gameplay wise, they are knocking it out of the park with this trailer, and just how visually outstanding it looks. No surprise, it's Kuro Games, people who made Punishing Gray Raven. And then we have Taimanin GoGo, a pop roguelike action game coming to smartphones this fall. I don't think this is going to be anything exciting, but hey, if you want something different, then this is going to be something to look out for. Roguelike just means you enter a stage, you pick a like upgrade of some sort, and then you go to the next stage with different themes on it. It's randomized. And yeah, visuals, it doesn't really suit me because it's chibi, but maybe gameplay will say otherwise once it releases, probably in JP. And then we have Tales of Weaver second run. The only reason why I'm excited about this game, because I'm a sucker for pixel-like graphics, and I guess like this Octopath Traveler feel HD 2D. But outside of that, I'm not really excited because it's Nexon, so bated breath, we'll see what happens. Then we have World 2, a split-screen 2D side-scrolling RPG. This is a big one, I believe, by NetEase. What's interesting though is if you have two things going on, I feel like my brain will be like, what do I pay attention to? Or maybe I'll just be like, oh, I get to experience more things than I ever saw. But outside of that, this game looks pretty decent when it's just pure art-wise. In-game gameplay leaves something to be desired, but hopefully it's going to be really cool once it releases sometime in 2022. Next up, we have Unveil the World. We talked about it. It's going to be brought to you by Posuka Demizu. And there wasn't anything crazy as far as like gameplay goes, and just note that guy's only handling like the character design, but the visuals on this character design, like we said, it looks gorgeous. And if you can give me something gorgeous trailer wise, then hopefully it translates within the game and it keeps this look. There's definitely some 3D gameplay going on with this one, and hopefully they keep this aesthetic as we flow to actual gameplay. But I feel like this is a cutscene of sorts, so I have to keep my expectations sort of low because we never know what happens. But at the end of the day, it looks beautiful and I'm excited to say the least. Then we have a Goblin Slayer pre-registration announcement by G23. These people usually produce HTML games or web browser games. We'll see how it goes. I love the Goblin Slayer series. Hopefully there's nothing too crazy going on with that. And then we have Gundam game lineups for Tokyo Game Show. We have the Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operations 2, the Mobile Suit Gundam UC Engage, Gundam Battle Gunpla Warfare. All you need to know, these are going to be some of the Gunpla games, Gundam games that you can play. Hopefully something interests you as we are scrolling down on here. Gundam just doing amazing things as they always do, because mech RPGs are just all thanks to the Gunpla Gundam series as they have been flowing. Next up, Limbus Company. I could really make an entire video just based off of Project Moon's Library of Ruina and Limbus Company alone. If you're not seeing what's going on here, it's a puzzle match style RPG, and there's going to be clashing effects where you can counter opponents, you can stagger them, make it so that they are not going to be functional for the next turn, and the opponents can do the same thing back to you. What I liked about Project Moon is that their gameplay was complex. It made you think, and the AI was ridiculous. Like, it would kick your butt tenfold. So if Project Moon can deliver, I'm excited. It's coming to iOS, Android, and PC. There is going to be a gacha mechanic. I don't know if it's going to be free to play, but trust me when I say Project Moon knows how to make a complex game that will humble you as far as like understanding its mechanics. Just look at all the different colors. Each color is a different attack, a different way to execute a move. And depending on how it goes, you are going to get your ass beat, or you're going to absolutely cream on them and take the game. If you want more stuff on it, we can do a full in-depth breakdown. Limbus Company is definitely something to be hyped for. And then we also have a THRUD CBT gameplay. It's going to be reminiscent of Strike the Witch. Thank you to the user who posted this on Reddit. All I have to say with this one, I like the 3D style. Hopefully there's more to this outside of the gameplay that I'm seeing right here, because to me, the numbers seem a little generic. I feel like you could put it on a text editor, but at the same time, you know, it's a little bit different from what I have seen already. But at the end of the day, if it can build a new audience that's niche to this genre, I'm super excited. Then we have Crystal of Atlan getting a CBT2 on Android and TapTap only. Maybe it's still available, maybe it's not. Look at the anime and all the things going on here. It is just really cool to see all these anime-inspired games just getting news after news in 2022, because it felt dry 2020 through 2021. So now, after 2 years of waiting, we get amazing stuff like this. And Sword Art Online getting an early pre-registration. If you guys haven't heard of it, I've been talking out the ear for this one. I believe it's going to be by Bandai Namco, and it looks gorgeous. As far as I can tell, it's going to be an action RPG of sorts. Speculated dates December 14th, so hopefully we stick with that. If not, hopefully sometime soon in 2022. And then we have Kamibako, Mythology of Cube, a crafting by puzzles by battle RPG. Screenshots, it looks really good. I don't know what it is. It's just like all these like anime 3D aesthetic games just coming out with bangers as of recent, as visuals goes and as what we can see. But at the end of the day, puzzles, cubes, battle RPG, I'm looking forward to it. Probably a JP only, but hopefully an EN release, because we've been getting a lot of those as well lately. Then we have Ketsugo Danshi, Elements with Emotions. It's going to be an announcement on it. It's going to be coming sometime in 2023. All that you need to know, it seems to be an RPG adventure of sorts. It's going to be a sim style. And yeah, it might be something like Twisted Wonderland in its namescape, but at the end of the day, all of his bundles look really beautiful in this one. And we could always use some more. Hopefully it gets an EN release, because all these men look absolutely gorgeous. And here's a website in case you're like, hey, is this real? Yeah, it's real. This is going to be Pixel Shrine Jinja, a sandbox sim by Kagura Tech. I just want to talk about it because it looks really cute to my eyes. And then we have Panilla Saga, Real Idol RPG. I would not recommend this one just because of the generic UIs. But if you're bored sometime in October, this is going to be releasing as well. Lots of October games, nothing in September. That's all I have to say. Events rolling around. First up, Last Claudia, Devil May Cry returns with Virgil. I think Virgil looking hecka spicy with the Devil May Cry Last Claudia collab. And then we have Senran Kagura's new link by To Love Ru. It's going to be its second collab, so it's going to be new To Love Ru characters. All you need to know, Senran Kagura knows how to display the art. So if you love the To Love Ru series, I think there's going to be something here for you, especially waifu-wise. There'll be some bells tolling, so maybe there's going to be a wedding of sorts during this event. Oh my goodness, that is hecka spicy. So yeah, this is gonna be cool, especially if you love waifus. I love waifus. I love Senran Kagura. Senran Kagura is very cultured, and so is to love THRUD. So it's a match made in heaven, right? Then we have Goddess Nikkei of Victory getting a new trailer, specifically with the Snow Queen. By the way, look at this booth. It looks really awesome. This is from Tokyo Game Show, by the way. And yeah, all I have to say with Nikkei Goddess of Victory is that November 1st is the speculated dates. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. All I know is that I want my waifus in my hands and playable as soon as possible, because I really love the Nikkei series, and any way that I can visually see these waifus on my screens every single day will make my day, that is for sure. Man, I must be sleeping, I must have gotten knocked out, but I'm all about it. We get some good visuals on the Nikkei waifus. Then we have Tears of Themis, a Wish in the Light event, in case you guys are interested in Husbando love. And we have Tokyo Game Show having some interesting tweets, mostly on Genshin, Ensemble Stars, Project Sekai, FGO Project, and Knives Out. It's weird to see that Musume wasn't in this, heavily tweeted forums during Tokyo Game Show, but Cygames doesn't really have a presence in Tokyo Game Show, which I find weird. But on Musume news, there is some rumblings with KR players demanding a lawsuit because the banners are cut short, re-rolling is blocked, there is reduced gem rewards, there is just problems with PvP events being a week before the event, because usually it takes a month to grind. So yeah, it's not looking good for Musume in KR. Hopefully they do it right, because Kakao Games, you're messing up over there. I know Kakao Games is usually loved by the community, but they are not doing it good for the Musume series. That's all I have to say. And then we also have Azur Lane collabing with Atelier Ryza 2, as we talked about earlier, with the Japanese 5th year anniversary for Azur Lane. It's gonna have Musashi and some other waifus, Sakawa, Wakatsuki, Haguro, and Miyuki. I know I butchered the crap out of the names. And then we have Tower of Fantasy events with 1,000 people visiting Tokyo Game Show booth, which gives you a chibi character stickers, a mini ring notebook, an envelope, and an acrylic stand. I'd probably want the acrylic stand because those are practically figures in my opinion. And then they also have Tower of Fantasy doing server mergers sometime in the future. That's really cool, because that means people will get to play with their friends and actually enjoy events properly. And we have Tower of Fantasy releasing 1.5. It is now out because it released back in September 15th, which is a couple days already from now. So Level Infinite just killing it. There's going to be an 8-player cooperative raid gameplay mode. Tower of Fantasy is just monumentally different from Genshin Impact with its, more communicative experience right up in your face. But at the end of the day, it's really cool to see the competition rolling out the updates. And then we have Hoyoverse news. Technically, I should have put Tears of Themis here, but Honkai Star Rail getting the new Witness character trailer. Look at this. We are at gunpoint right here, and wow, the visuals on this just look gorgeous. And what's really interesting is this waifu right here definitely has some time manipulation going on. She is redirecting the bullets so that they're going to be deflecting off of each other and essentially killing no one, but at the same time definitely doing some damage to the floor. Waifu looks gorgeous. Honkai Star Rail, I'm hyped for it. I'm excited, get ready for it. Hopefully sometime soon. And then we have Zenless Zone Zero gameplay, 18 minutes of it from Tokyo Game Show. Now, the first things that you need to know is that the gameplay is straight up like character interactions and combat. Why is that special? Because the more of this game that we get to see of it actually functioning properly, the more excited I get over it, because there's not a lot of games that can nail the mobile RPGs correctly, especially in the action format. I don't think this holds anything to the Wuthering Waves gameplay that I saw if I were to compare and contrast, but visually I like the colors off of this one a little bit better. But at the same time, they're two completely different games in the regards of their story and world design. So maybe that's why Zenless Zone Zero is a little bit brighter. But combat-wise, I have to say Wuthering Waves is just going to be a little bit better, because I don't see any like dodging mechanics that would, really like change up the pace. But maybe like the switching of characters are a little bit different, and that's where this one gets more of its praise, right? So here's gonna be like some in-game dialogue and some interactions with characters in case you guys are curious. And then we have some the second year anniversary news with 1600 primos, daily logins for 10 intertwined fates, some pets, and fragile resins is going to be coming for the second year anniversary. And then 3.1 is scheduled for September 28th. That's really soon. 3.2 2nd of November and 3.3 7th of November. All that you need to know is that the latest waifus, Candace and Husbando's Kaino, and I'm forgetting like the last waifu's name, but she's gonna have like the water sword. They're gonna be releasing fairly soon, and there's going to be a lot of things happening as far as the Genshin Impact things flow. First up is going to be the fact that there is going to be an anime. I want to play the trailer of the anime, but the thing is this is definitely going to get me demonetized. This is going to be brought to you by Ufotable. Ufotable brought us FGO series in animated format. We all know FGO being one of the best animated series of all time. Ufotable just producing Genshin is just a wet dream for Genshin fans. Honestly, it's a wet dream for me because I want to see Genshin animated by Ufotable. I'm excited to see it. Hopefully everything runs smoothly and we get to see this hopefully in 2023 and not any later. Then we have anime games. First up is A Legend of Zelda May 12th. That's going to be coming 2023. I know it's not a mobile game, but Breath of the Wild seriously defined the way like the anime RPG look goes, especially in the action orientation. I wanted to talk about it. The trailer looks amazing. If you have a Switch is technically sort of mobile, so I get like some leeway talking about this one, right? More anime games. Shift Up that brought us Destiny Child and Nikkei Goddess of Victory is giving us Stellar Blade. Now, Stellar Blade is going to be on the PS5. The big things though is this is a technically mobile developer coming to the AAA budget format, and I haven't seen like side games. This may be like the only one that has done something as monumental as this. Like, you know, as being a big company, technically Nintendo does it all the time, but they didn't start with mobile beginnings. All I have to say is this game looks gorgeous, and we know them for developing or creating some of the most beautiful waifus. It has more of a Western feel because I guess like 3D, like in this fashion, looks more Western in my eyes. But let's go ahead and look at some of that gameplay. It reminds me of something like Warframe, the way it visually looks and the dodging, and I guess like the action mechanics goes. It just seems a little bit faster. It doesn't have a Dark Souls feel to it. So in that regard, maybe give me like some other games that this reminds you of. But at the end of the day, I'm super happy that Shift Up is making a game that looks as beautiful as this on the PS5s. Shift Up, the mobile developers going to this level, I'm excited. Then we have IRL news rolling around. First up, the Tokyo Game Show Konami booth. They had the Shine Post Beer Idol. Now, some of you guys might be wondering, didn't you already show this info? No, I didn't show the gameplay for Shine Post. And the reason why I'm talking about Shine Post is because this reminds me a lot of Musume, the horse idol racing waifu game. And any idol games that release of this caliber, I think we have to hold Musume to a certain level. So if this game can compete with the likes, I'm hoping for its success because it looks visually fairly similar. Gameplay wise, unknown, but I think there's going to be a lot of mechanics where you're going to be raising your idols, just having like different moments where it's like, oh, do this interaction in order to score more points in order for them to be successful in whatever idol things that they do. Next up is going to be the Aniplex booth. It looks really gorgeous, mostly with the World II stuff. Nothing too outstanding because I feel like we already covered this last week. And then Microsoft doing more acquisitions to compete with Tencent and Sony, and I might as well say NetEase. The thing is, Phil Spencer, one of the lead people in the Xbox ways, is wanting a bigger footprint in the Japanese RPG market, which is really cool in my opinion because more Japanese RPG competition is good. And hopefully this means that we're going to be getting, Xbox Japanese RPG inspired games on the mobile gacha fronts. I'm interested because Xbox, Microsoft, they definitely know how to make games specifically in the shooter genre, but maybe something good will come out of this. Last up, we'll do Princess Connect news. Right now, Halloween Mimi is a thing. The Halloween events is re-rolling around. But yeah, this is a long one. There was a lot of stuff to cover with mostly Tokyo Game Show stuff, just random games popping up. But September, it's been a little bit dry on the games front, but at the same time, there seems to be a lot of stuff being thrown around for October, so it has me really hyped. But anyways, if you made it this far in today's video, consider subscribing, dropping a like, leaving a comment, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram if you want to see my face. Once we hit 40,000 subs, we're doing a giveaway. Thanks so much for watching. Have yourself a fantastic day, and see you guys in the next one.